Welcome back to another episode of Coffee Meets Vodka. I'm your host, Raya, and I'm handling life one shot at a time. Sit back, relax, let's talk all things pop culture, celebrities, gossip, trends, and let's become best friends. What? I'm just saying what everyone else is thinking. We have a fun little episode today because we have our first live audience guest member. Very excited about that. So, I hope it's good. The pressure's on, you know? 'Tis the season. We got a Christmas sweater going. We have Sorry I Can't, Mercury's in retrograde because it literally is today. And this is our last episode of 2023. We are taking like 2 weeks off and then coming back in January for the new year. It's going to be the same season. Like, we're not doing different seasons, but like the way that we have so many good guests coming on in 2024, I'm so excited. It's not going to be every week. Like, sometimes you might be disappointed and you might only hear my voice. Hope you're not disappointed, but maybe. The first guest, you guys, I would love to know if you could guess this. I'll give you 2 hints. I'll give you 3. It's a male, he's famous, and he was on TV. Let me know in the comments who you think that it is. You know, my net is wide. I'm, 3 degrees away from Taylor Swift. Actually, I'm really 1 degree away from Taylor Swift, technically, because I know a guy who did a movie with her brother. So it's like 1 degree. Or is that 2 degrees? Anyways, long story short, I'm like 1 to 3 degrees away from Taylor Swift. Oh, and this episode is lucky number 13. Taylor, I hope you're watching. Happy belated, by the way. We love you. Oh, she posted on Instagram and she was like, I'm chronically millennial. And you know what? She is, because she posted like a weird filter that was like so 2014 coded. And she got like some cake that I didn't notice, milk something or other, that apparently like everybody is like, oh my God, this is like so, 2012, 2014 coded. But you know what everybody else is saying? So there's this theory going around on Taylor Swift. I'm not like a huge, I'm a Swiftie, but I'm not like a huge Taylor Swift rabbit hole conspiracy theory person, but there is one that I thought was interesting, that they're saying that her next album is going to be Sagittarius coded, and like, which I'm a fan, obviously, as a Sagittarius myself. I'm very a fan of that, but that she's going through like her birthday dress was the stars, she had like a cloud, glitter, like kind of cosmic. She was wearing an astrology bag, which I need that bag, everything like that. And somebody was saying that her next album is going to do something with like the cosmos and the star signs and like whatever. And I will say the sweater, the 1989 Taylor's version sweater that I was wearing on the last episode, I actually bought that from Taylor Swift's website, and the confetti that came in it was star-shaped. I couldn't think of the word. You know how she was having confetti at her shows, and then on one of them she added like an orange confetti, and then in the packaging she had blue star confetti. So if anybody is into the Taylor Swift theories and you guys are listening to this, there's a clue. So blue and stars. So it's giving 1989 sister album to the stars. I'm into that. I love that. Mercury is in retrograde, okay? And I know a lot of you don't know what that means. It's in retrograde in Capricorn. Basically it just means you need to get your shit together and be extra careful, okay? Like, that's the synopsis. If you want me to go more into it, I will. I'll do like a little shot episode. I've done astrology stuff in the past because I'm an astro girly. And Matt Rife hates that. So whatever. But you know who doesn't hate that? Penn Badgley. For the longest, I thought it was Penn Badgley. I like both. And if I married him, my dog child's name would be Penn Badgley. So I love that. Penelope. Speaking of Penelope and the lovely Pisces in my life, I just want to say at 31, I'm turning over a new leaf. And this is my public apology to the Piscean family, I'm sorry for saying that I hate you all of these years, okay? I said it as a loving joke. And I will say at my party, this is what I find interesting. At my party, I only had Virgo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Pisces. I had one Libra and one other Sagittarius. I just got the juiciest tea that I'm going to have to wait for later. Okay, no, but I'm sorry. Not to all Pisces, though. But the ones in my life, I really do love you, obviously. And when I say that I hate them, obviously it's not you, but I can see how when somebody says it over and over again, it's giving verbal abuse. Yeah, and Taylea wants you to know that she's a Pisces and she supports this message. I honest to God never thought I would see the day. And I just want to say I also have a bone to pick with CoStar, and not the real estate commercial real estate website, CoStar, the astrology app. It's so bad. And it's gotten better, but like it used to be so bad. Like people would post and they would be like, wow, this is so deep. I really do need to go to Target today. And I'm like, girl, what the fuck? Like, anyways, whoever they had on their marketing team, I'm like 99% sure they got fired and they hired somebody else. But on CoStar, literally, there's nobody less compatible for me in my life as Taylea's. And I sent that to her and I was like, oh my God, you hate me. Joke's on me. You hate me. And she was like, no, I don't. Do you hate me? And I was like, no. And then we like constantly reassured each other for 2 weeks. Like... okay, but whoever made that, I don't know. It's like, I know Matt Rife especially is going to be like, oh, see, the stars are bullshit. Okay, they're not. But I don't know. I think she's really healthy, though. I think that's the majority of it. We both go to therapy and seek help. I haven't done like our charts together, so maybe I should do that, because like CoStar only puts like happy face, like meh face, and then like a sad face next to like your compatibility on the signs and whatever. So and me and Taylea have like all black, which is a sad face. But I haven't done our I think we have one like smiley face, and I think it's like in something stupid, like Saturn. Yeah, which actually really comes in clutch if you're intoxicated and you don't want to ruin your life. No, I was trying to say not the synchronicity. Whatever. I need to do our charts together is what I was going to say. Okay, you guys, something else. I've been doing my Invisalign, and I'm going to be doing it for the next 10 months. Now, probably 11, because I got fucked up. Literally went to the dentist this week, and they shaved my teeth. I don't know if you can tell. They shaved my bottom teeth, and it kind of scared me. I was like, hello, I don't want veneers. I think if I was a celebrity and I had all the money in the world, I honest to God still don't think I would get veneers. I'm saying that now, and like I probably would, because then you have money to keep up and like get them right, like done right. But I don't know. I don't think I would do veneers. I just don't. That's scary to me. And apparently if you don't like brush them or like floss after every meal, they like smell or something. That's like what I heard on TikTok. An iconic news source. But they shave my teeth a little bit, so like when they move, like so they can shift, which okay. And then I go in and they're like, oh, are you ready for your aligner 5? And I was like, no, I'm on 4. And they're like, oh, did you skip one? And I was like, no, bitch, I've been wearing those things. Like I've been wearing them. Anyways, yeah, I talked about if you listen to last week's episode, you'll know that I already talked about Smile Direct Club bankruptcy. Oh my God, giving fake fan over here.
Oops, my bad.
And his defense, it literally came out today. Today we are pre-filming for Thursday the 21st, right before Christmas drop, but you should have your notifications on. Anyways, back to the news at hand. So I go in and they're like, are you ready for your aligner 5? And I was like, no, I'm on 4, because you guys told me the first set of 4, I'm doing 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And then, or at least the first 3, maybe. I have to go back and look. And then I do 1 week, right? Like I remember that because I have it in the calendar and By the way, if you are doing Invisalign, this is not an ad either, and I'm just shouting it out for free, but get Tray Minder. I'm sorry. It's going to be 10 minutes of me just burping. Like, no, but like a montage. Like, it could be 10 minutes long. My dad used to always say a burp is a fart that took the elevator. Okay, long story short, bitch, I wasn't on. Oh yeah, Tray Minder. You should do that. Download that if you have Invisalign or like any like dentures. I don't fucking know what you do, but Invisalign especially, because it'll track your in and out, and it'll like remind you, oh, you ate. It's been 30 minutes. Like put it back in, because that's where I fuck up. But so I go to the dentist and they're like, okay, you ready for tray 5? And I was like, no, and blah blah blah. So I leave with tray 5 in, and I was like, I don't think I'm ready, because I kind of fucked up. Like, it was my birthday. Like, I had a lot going on. So I was like, I need to wear my 3s in my head for a few more days. So I did that. And then literally yesterday and the day before, so I changed it like a day before at night, put it in, I threw up. I don't know if that's a symptom, but my teeth were hurting so motherfucking bad. And I guess it kind of gave me like a headache and like tension headache. And when I just, any sort of my body that I don't feel good in, like I could stub my toe, I'm getting nauseous. I'm getting diarrhea. Like I instantly panic. I have anxiety out the asshole, literally. And I have like anxiety induced IBS. I've been to the doctor a lot, and they're like, are you seeking mental help? And I was like, yeah, I am. They're like, you should continue that. Really, I did have a doctor that told me that. I was like, okay, I'm going to report you to the board. So anyways, long story short, this morning I fucking realized, I was like, dude, my teeth are hurting so bad, like so bad. And I look on the thing, because the dentist told me that they're labeled. Bitch, it says 5. And I look on my bag, and the girl labeled it wrong with the same date that my 4s are. This is such niche content. I'm just trying to tell you that I was indeed correct. And they mislabeled my trays, and I missed a tray. So I went from tray 3 to tray 5. Hurt, bitch, hurt. Anyway, so now I have tray 4 not in right now, because if I do, I would talk with a slight lisp. It got way, 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 way better. But I don't want to, like, I don't want you to hate me in your ears. So I don't do the Invisalign for you guys. I'm suffering for you. So that's that. Okay, with the holidays coming up, you guys, let's kind of be like nostalgic. Let's like go back on this year. Let's see. I know I already kind of did that when I made my vision board, and I already told you, but like I traveled a bunch. A lot of the things on my vision board came true. Thank God I didn't get engaged. You know, it's on this year's board. You know, you never know. And as I said last time, I'm supposed to be meeting a new boyfriend this year. Actually, this month. I got 3 more weeks. Where is he? Where are ya? Where are ya? With the holidays coming up, I really want to know, like we just had Thanksgiving, but now we have Christmas, the best time of year. And then we have New Year's. Hate it. I honestly, unpopular opinion, like New Year's is my least favorite holiday. Like I would rather live under a rock than do anything on New Year's, unless you're having a house party, because I feel like that's the cheapest and the least expensive. But I'm like never drunk on New Year's. Also, I will say, like, truly being sober on New Year's Eve is setting yourself up for success in the new year. I've done this a handful of times, and I did it. I think I started this in like 2016 or like 2017. And you know what? I don't think I did it like 2017 going to 2018, and that was like a shit year for moi. But anyways, I just feel like it sets yourself up for like success, and I highly recommend doing that and doing nothing, making a vision board, like whatever. So going back to like the holidays and stuff, and I'm not trying to like put anyone on blast, i.e. like my family, but I will say my So my mom has been like, I don't know, maybe like the last 5 years has been hell bent on like, quote, hosting. And I'm like, but what are you hosting? So she wants to do like Thanksgiving and then she wants to do Christmas and like whatever. Okay. So I'm like, okay, blah, blah, blah. This happened like a couple years ago. But I just thought this was funny. I thought of this funny story and I wanted to share. So I think this was for Thanksgiving, but this also goes with Christmas. Last year, my mom was like, I want to host a holiday. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, sure. So she's like, oh, but my house isn't done. Oh, but I don't have an oven. Oh, but I don't have XYZ. Bitch, she hires a motherfucking contractor and she starts, and mind you, this is not like, this is just us. Like, babe, I've known you for 31 years. Cousins have known you the same. Your sister's known you for 60 something years. Like, we're there with you. We're in the trenches, okay? We know who you are. We're not expecting like anything grand. So she goes, yeah, I'm going to be hosting. And then she goes, oh, my oven broke. Instead, so my mom has like an older house and she has an oven that's like a dual oven inside of the wall, right? Instead of buying a new dual oven, or like if they don't make that anymore because she said it's like a weird size, I don't know, somehow I don't believe her. I was like, you need to do like a microwave and like a one oven combo. And she goes, oh, but I really like having two ovens. Hey, the oven's been broken for at least 15 years. I'm like not even kidding. Maybe 10. How long have we lived in that house? I don't remember. And so she like doesn't use it anyways. So I'm like, just get like for resale, especially like you're not going to have to redo it if you ever sell the house. Like just get the microwave, conventional microwave, and then like an oven. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that. She has a stove that's in the counter, which great. It's like pretty desirable. A lot of people like that. It is electric, but it's okay. It's probably easy to change to gas. I don't know. Anyways, then she has like big drawers underneath the stove, which is what you want to put all your pots and pans and whatever. Okay. Instead of doing what I said, this woman hires a contractor, take a fucking chainsaw to the stove and gets what she calls an oven stove combo. I actually don't really know if that's what it's called, but that's what we're going to call it. And it's like anything, you know, when you have the stove on top in the oven. She hires a contractor to just hack at the fucking counter with the drawers, which you need storage. Everybody loves storage, to put in the oven. And guess what? Then she canceled the holidays. She's like, I'm not hosting. No, she has 3 ovens. Like, that's the gag. She has 3 ovens and she didn't even like end up hosting any holiday. So she tells me recently when I was talking to her about my garage sale and stuff, she goes, I think I'm gonna host Christmas. I'm gonna get everybody matching pajamas and I'm gonna do hosting Christmas. Haven't heard. Christmas is in a week, 2 weeks. Haven't heard. So my cousin ended up having, well, really like host everything. And honestly, if I had the space, I would be hosting. Yeah, mental health crisis in America, you know? I just want to say one more thing. I will say that it's so interesting watching yourself back on film, on camera. And I know you're like, Raya, but you were an actress. And I was. But it's different being yourself online or like on film than saying lines, right? I understand why people say that they're scared of me. I understand why men specifically say that they're scared of me. I'm not saying I would be scared too, but like, I was watching it back yesterday, the last week's episode. I was watching it back the other day before we posted it, and I was like in awe. Like I mean, this is not to sound conceited or anything. I just was like, damn, like I was fucking heeing and hawing. Like I was laughing so hard, and I was watching it as like an audience member, like somebody like coming across YouTube and like finding this like hidden gem. And I was like, oh wow, I get it. Like if this I'm surprised I even have friends, to be honest. I've always said I don't know that I could be my own friend. So I'm really grateful for all of the friends that I do have and the people that do genuinely like me. Because I'm going to say right now, I don't think I could do it. But you guys are the real MVPs. Justin Timberlake performed at the new Fontainebleau grand opening, if I'm not mistaken, in Las Vegas. He performed at the Fontainebleau, which I want to say that that's accurate, but somebody, if not, this ties into it. He performed Cry Me a River and he said, "No disrespect." And then he started rapping. Okay, you know what? I love NSYNC, but I've never really loved Justin Timberlake's solo career. Like, in high school when people would play Senorita, I was just like, oh, next. And there was like a period where we were like, my friends were really obsessed with that at like parties. And I was like, this is just not doing it for me. I don't know. I like him as an actor, but I don't really like him as a solo artist. It's giving subpar. Anyways, he performed Cry Me a River in Las Vegas and was like, "No disrespect." And everybody was like, "Oh, that's crazy," whatever. But the real craze is that Fontainebleau is opening, and it was can you Google Fontainebleau? It's like Fontaine, Bleu or something like that. Vegas, yes, because it's a building that has been sitting there for over 10 years. Okay, 16 years that the Fontainebleau has been constructed, and the original investor like built it and then like went under. The windows have been seen to be falling out of the building that's been constructed 16 years ago but has never been lived in. Anyway, somebody else recently, another investor bought it recently and has been fixing it, but it's like for a crazy amount. See what they bought it for. $3.7 billion. Doll hairs. $3.7 billion doll hairs. Somebody bought Fontainebleau for. That's crazy. Yikes. Wow, who was like, that's a good investment? How, like, sometimes rich people like concern me because I'm like, why do you guys think some things are like great investment? Like, when is that gonna pay off? You know, 3 point what? 3.7. When are you going to make a profit? Is like what I want to know. And maybe you are. Maybe it's like lucrative and gambling. I mean, there are gambling issues in the world. Like maybe that's it. I don't know. But I don't know. Are you going to make a profit in your lifetime?
Yeah. I feel like
crazy.
If you were to spend that much money on something, a casino would be good.
Lucrative?
Yeah, especially on Vegas Strip.
Yeah. Yeah. On the premise of cruise ships that I said last week about that guy, or 2 weeks ago about that guy who, well, I guess it was more than one guy who did a 3-year cruise, but the whole 3-year cruise thing. Now millennials are so poor, like we like can't afford housing in general. And there was a guy that bought 300 square feet or something on a cruise ship for $305,000 for 12 years. Fuck yeah, I'd sail the 7 seas for 12 years. I know what you're saying. Like, oh, Raya, have you been on Cruise Talk? It's so scary. Have you been on deep sea offshore talk in the Antarctic? Yeah, okay. Have you seen the sirens, aka the mermaid? Yeah, it's scary. But hope to God I'm not going there on the cruise. This is supposed to be relaxing, enjoyable. Also, I mean, look, you're, again, eating Michelin star, avocado toast daily. You're working out for free. You're, not free, but it's like all included in your price. You have, work, quarters of co-working spaces. Thank God. Thank you. What I want to know, okay, the 2 questions that came up. 1, would Hinge get boring? Would dating apps get boring because you're like, this broad again in 3B? It's like you're there for 12 years. And then 2, or is it fun because then you're going to different ports and you're like in different cities and like you can travel and stuff and I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs. Are you there for a night? Are you there for like a week or 2? Like you can go on and off and you can go travel to different cities and countries and whatnot.
Or like if you wanted to have friends.
Yeah, you would just tell them to meet you at a port, I feel like. And it's like the same as Below Deck.
Like what if you want to
No, I think they probably could come on the ship.
For a little bit. They could come in for a little bit. I feel like when it docks at the port on like 5 Below Deck, they have like,
Not 5 Below Deck. It's just called Below Deck.
Below Deck.
5 Below is a store. It's a Dollar General.
I feel like they have like little rendezvous.
Yeah, they
below
do.
deck. So you can just have like a little rendezvous with your family, your friends.
Yeah, you just say we'll be at the port like this day. They go to ports and they like sit there for like a couple days. A big ship like that, they probably, and if it's everybody paying on board like that has bought a little apartment, they definitely go sit at like ports for a second, and your family and friends can come visit you, which is clutch because then it's like all you need to buy is airfare and we'll sleep on the ship. I mean, I would assume they would just need to sign in because when I was on a cruise, we would have to like sign in and sign out and show our passports each time. There might be a limit, but also again in like a 300 square foot apartment and like one bedroom and one toilet, like I don't know if you're doing more than one guest. Like I'm not having like 6 people come, maybe 2 max, and somebody's got to sleep on the floor. You know? Oh, I also wonder, I just made this up, but I wonder if they have like a guest suite or like a couple that you can like rent out or like sign in and out of to where maybe your guests get their own room or something that's like included. That would be clutch. You guys, I watched Leave the World Behind. The whole Netflix craze with Julia Roberts and the Obamas producing. Didn't finish, couldn't get into it. I got to the part about the Teslas, which, by the way, Tesla's recalled about 2 million vehicles. Interesting. It's like life imitates art, or does art imitate life, or is it both? And then people were saying that because Julia Roberts, who dated Matthew Perry's daughter in the show, is obsessed with Friends and can't watch the Friends finale, it has something to do with his bat signal or mat signal and something like that. I don't know about all that, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I really couldn't get into the movie. I didn't understand it, and I went so far. I've never done this in my life. I went so far as to like read multiple synopses, not only about the movie but also about the book. And I was on Goodreads, also not an ad, but I was like, let me see what other people are saying about the book because it was a book and now it's a movie adaptation. I don't get it. And I also heard from multiple people that the ending sucked. I don't know if I'll finish it just because I've tried and I've started it at least 3 times and I only got to the Tesla. Now, the one thing, how they're saying post-apocalyptic, now the one thing that is scary is like, yeah, the Tesla, like that seemed very real. I didn't get the plane part. I didn't get the like flyers falling from the sky. Like, what was it falling from? And I rewound that a couple times. I didn't get the deer. Anyways, not for me. And I really like post-apocalyptic, like dark stuff in general, and I like things that make me think and like psycho thrillers and like whatever, but it was a miss for me. And I don't like that. There's not many things that are misses for me, but that was, and so is Game of Thrones. Couldn't get into Game of Thrones either. The new Hunger Games movie premiered recently, right? A while ago. We were talking about that earlier. I haven't seen it. I kind of want to see it because it actually looks better than all of the other Hunger Games. The only multiple series franchise that I'm into is Harry Potter. And I don't know if that's just showing the millennial in me, but I mean, Twilight, couldn't get into it. Do I watch it, or did I watch it in theaters? Yeah, I did. But I'm not as to Twilight as I am to Harry Potter. And I was talking about this recently. Harry Potter, it's a year's show. Like, you can watch it any season. Halloween.
Yeah, it's so
versatile. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, summer, fall,
winter,
spring, summer, joggers. Joggers. How does one say spring, summer and not say spring, summer? Joggers. Oh, yeah. She by Sheree is what it's from, baby. 15 years later, we're still waiting. Let's go get you a home. Okay, back to Hunger Games. So yeah, I the one thing that I really did like about Hunger Games is the costumes. Like the costumes were amazing. and the makeup and the special effects were great. The storyline didn't really get. I mean, I know it's like post-apocalyptic and it's like a world where there's like, I get it. I get it more than I get Leave the World Behind for sure. Just not my cup of tea. I think it's crazy that Jennifer Lawrence won an Oscar for that. I'll never forget this. I remember seeing an interview with her on Ellen. Somebody was like, what would you be doing if you weren't acting? And she goes, oh, I would probably be a nurse back in Kentucky because I told myself that I would move to LA and give myself 5 years. And if I didn't make it as an actress in 5 years, then I would go back to nursing school and just become a nurse. Bitch, who makes it in 5 years? I just want to know who makes it in 5 years that has had no prior acting and no prior theater training and no prior modeling and no prior entertainment and no prior stand-up comedy. Now, I get talent. It's like, I get raw talent. Like, yes, you do have to have talent. Babe, I know a secret. I just think that it's interesting that Jennifer Lawrence's career bombed when the Me Too movement came out because it had been said allegedly that the reason why she made it is because she was doing things that she had an oral relationship with a big Hollywood producer that is now that we all know. And that was the start of the Me Too movement. And we haven't heard from her since. So that's how she got famous. I mean, I'm not hating. But it's mostly like with the Nepo babies. And it's like, you're a Nepo baby, so just say that. It's like, oh, well, I hooked up with X, Y, and Z, you know, whoever, big time magazine editor, like big Hollywood producer. That's how I made it. And just own it. Whatever. Another show that I've been watching is Fellow Travelers. Pretty good. I only watched the first like 2 episodes. It's with Matt Bomber. Can you look? Bomber. And the guy from Bridgerton. What's his name? He's so hot. The gays get all the good ones. It's with Matt Bomber and Jonathan Bailey from Bridgerton. And actually, I forgot what it was about because I haven't watched it in a couple weeks, but it's really good. You should watch it. Okay, moving on. Also news, I don't know if anybody knew this, but there's alleged that, so you know how Taylor Swift, when she went to go to the Chiefs game with Blake Lively, like I think the first time Blake Lively, she went with Ryan Reynolds, she went with Anthony from Queer Eye, which was random, and she went with Hugh Jackman, who is not random because he does Deadpool or like Avengers, whatever, Marvel series with Ryan Reynolds, so like they're probably friends. And then Ryan Reynolds married Blake Lively. Blake Lively's besties with Taylor Swift. But why was Anthony there? People had missed that. They were like, oh, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Swift, because she's going to be in the new Marvel movie of being like some singer, superhero, save the world. Love that. Here for that. But also, it was alleged that Hugh Jackman is seeing Anthony from Queer Eye, and Hugh Jackman brought Anthony from Queer Eye as his date to that game because he's getting a divorce after 40 years. And apparently there's rumors around going that he is in the closet. I don't know. I mean, let the man live. Hugh Jackman is just a precious gem of a man, okay? Like, he can do no wrong. He is so unproblematic. He did his Broadway. He's so talented. He did his Broadway. He did The Greatest Showman. He does Wolverine. Like, he is set for life, obviously, but he's a great actor and performer other than that. But I just thought that was interesting because the 2 people in the audience today did not know that that was a new thing. And then the last thing I will say, speaking of Real Housewives of Atlanta, is that I don't know if you guys are following this tea of Kim Zolciak-Biermann and Kroy Biermann. I mean, what in the fuck is going on there? It is so wild. It's giving whiplash. Are they getting a divorce? Are they not getting a divorce? Are they getting a divorce? Are they not getting a divorce? Is somebody pregnant? Is somebody not pregnant? They are doing clickbait. It is first of all, disgusting, kind of exploitive, because Kim has, at least in the past couple of weeks, she's posted 3 that I personally have seen of like an ultrasound and being like taking off the comments, and then she's like, oh, I can't wait to be a grandma, and then like tagging Brielle, but then it's like just saying that she can't wait for Brielle to get pregnant, but she's like, the caption is like alluding to like Brielle's pregnant or something, which is fucking weird. I feel really bad for the younger kids that she shares with Kroy, because Ariana and Brielle are from different dads, and she had them before Kroy. Kroy adopted both of them, but she has 4 kids with Zolciak-Biermann, who was a football player for the Falcons, I want to say, in Georgia. Is that correct? We don't know sports in here. Anyways, he retired, and they have had the cops called on them multiple times. And honestly, I feel like the Georgia police, the Atlanta PD, watches Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I guarantee you HPD would not go out there unless they're watching, because like the amount of times that the police go out to their house, and the amount of times that I have called the police, I mean, which is like not a lot. I know you're like, Raya, why are you calling the police? I don't know, man. I pay their taxes. I pay for my tax dollars, okay? I'm using the source. They don't show up for me. So I just know that there's a lot of Real Housewives fans in the Atlanta Police Department. And that's why they go out to the house so much. And I'm here for it, because their body cams somehow end up on TMZ. It's giving lump sum. And TikTok. So I feel bad for both parties. I feel like it's so chaotic. I was kind of following in the beginning, like last year, and now I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what to believe. Poor Kroy is like in distress. I mean, Kim is in distress, but like Kroy like quit his career to like support her, and like Kim has a gambling problem and spent all their money. In this most recent clip, he was screaming and freaking out, and I mean, it literally looked like a mental breakdown. He looked like a crazy person, like hair disheveled, and he was like, there's no house, there's no car, there's no money, even though they're like living in the house, but the house was in foreclosure. Remember, if you remember, they owed like $2 million on it in their loan. I think it was originally like 700 something, and then it like accrued to 2 million, and they almost had to foreclose on it, and then they got like a loan, and then they paid. I don't know. It is wild. I feel really bad for the younger kids. And the police officer mentioned, he was like, Kroy was like, who called you? And the police officer mentioned that one of the younger kids called the police department, and that's why they showed up. So sending good vibes to all involved. You know, that's pretty scary. But anyways, on that note, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's the last episode of the year of 2023. We are going to have so many amazing guests. Please, please, please sign up. If you want to be a guest on the show, you can go to my link in my Instagram bio at coffee.meets.vodka. Follow us on TikTok at coffee.meets.vodka. Support the show at the link in my Instagram bio. Send any amount that you want. Write us sweet nothings. We will shout you out on the next episode. And feel free to email us at coffeemeetsvodkapod@gmail.com, and follow us on YouTube at Coffee Meets Vodka. Subscribe anywhere you get podcasts, and share with your friends. See you guys next week. Bye. Happy holidays.